Hey friends, real quick I wanted to address something that's come up for more than one of you on this door project assignment, so I'm just adding this as a quick bonus video. This is not something that I've typically taught when this was an in-person class because I was just like, just measure it on the paper. But since we're doing this online, I do want to walk you through how to bring in a file, import it into Vectorworks, and then scale it correctly so that you can take your measurements off of the file the way that I did on the assignment when I demonstrated in the video, okay? So first I'm gonna just create that new file once again, right? I'm gonna use my template, get in there on that scenic layer, okay? So there's my scenery layer. Then I'm gonna go to where, let's say, door 1 exists in PDF, right? And I can drag and drop it in, okay? And it's going to do its own thing, all right? And we're gonna just let it import that PDF, okay? And then we wanna go and check how big it is and make sure that it is correctly scaled, right? So this was an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And so that means in scale, right? We're in a specific design layer right now. If we go into edit, we'll see what design layer scale that is in, right? So that is in 1:48, which would be 1/4 inch scale. And so 8.5 by 11, our height would be 44 feet, right? Because it would be an 11-inch sheet of paper that would be 44 feet tall. So it looks like we've come in full scale. Now the problem is, right, that is twice the size that we actually want this to be because this is 1/2 inch scale, right? And we need it to be 1/4 inch scale. So to double check that, I will grab my measuring tool and I can just measure the door width, right? And I see that it's coming out at like 6 foot 1 inches. And typically we would have a 3 foot door, not a 6 foot 1 inch door. So you would just want to scale this whole thing down by half so that the sheet layer at 1/4 inch scale matches this image, okay? There are a couple of ways to do that. The way I like to go about it is I come up in here and I say modify scale objects, all right? You have a couple of options then here, right? So you can just do a symmetrical scaling and scale it by half, okay? So now it's half as big as it was, and I can then go back in with my measuring, with my dimension tool, see where I'm at, much closer. That's option 1. If you're bringing in a file and you don't know what its original scale is, this one we do because it's written right on the thing, but we don't know what its original scale is or what scale we need it to be. For example, if I just pulled this JPEG in the first place from the internet, right? The other way to get there is, and I just zoomed back out and undid that scale step, I would go back into the scale objects mode. I would use symmetric by distance, okay? And so then I can say my current distance, and when I click on that button, it gives me a little cursor. And so I can be like, okay, so this to that spot is my current distance, right? And then my new distance will be 3 foot 0 inches. I obviously only zoomed out and didn't actually undo when I went back. But if I had done Command Z a couple more times and had undone my original scaling, then this would allow us to scale the whole drawing, but specifically this image to be the correct size. So that then as I go forward, I'm working, measuring off of a correctly scaled image within my file. So those are 2 ways to use that scale objects little window, and you can play with it and see if there are other things that are helpful to you, right? You can asymmetrically scale, you can scale everything or not, right? It's up to you, okay? So that is importing and scaling an image, in this case a PDF. So, and I dragged and dropped it to get in there. You can also bring it in using this import, okay? We'll get into this in more detail when we work on the AutoCAD conversion of the theater space. All right, friends, I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.